Hello and welcome back to GT Sportsmates, where we'll be looking at a race that took place here at Sardegna Road Track A. Now, there's two of us in this race that you'll be looking out for. There is myself in fourth in the Ford Mustang, and we are joined by John in fifth place, who we are currently looking at. We're going to follow John from the start. He is in the Subaru, a car which on this track could struggle actually. This is a very power dominant track, and the Subaru, as we all know, doesn't have the greatest top end. As you saw myself in the background, just completely messing up the start, going into the wall. I tried to avoid the guy who basically didn't start. He just didn't go anywhere, and in my attempts to avoid him, I got a bit of too much power through the back wheels and spun it up into the wall. So not a great start for me, but a good start here for John, who is fighting for second place against a fellow Brit. In fact, there's only one person in this entire lobby who isn't British. So yeah, it's been a pretty dominant British race this time round. This track, we've done it a few times actually, and personally, this is one of my favourite tracks. And I feel kind of weird saying that, because when I first ever tried this track, I hated it, absolutely hated it, didn't see the point in it. I thought, it's a rubbish track, it's not even a real circuit, what is the point? But I give it some time, and now I love this track, really do love this track. As John now coming down, braking very hard into turn 9, the GTR are doing very well to go around the outside there, John trying to give him as much room as possible. And you could see actually then, what I was trying to talk, what I was talking about at the beginning of the race, the power difference between the Subaru and the other cars in this race. That GTR it came past no problem. It really did come past no problems. As John gets a little tap on the back fender there, that could have been devastating. Coming around turn 14, but he managed to hold on to it, and up into third it goes. I myself, as you can see there, finding myself up in fifth place now, recovered from the very, very bad start indeed, and now I am fighting for fourth place against the Porsche. Jumping behind me now, I'm going to go down the inside of John. He's giving me a bit of room there to come down the inside. He gets sandwiched a little bit, but not too bad there, and up into third for myself, recovering pretty well if I do say so myself. But John battling still in fourth there against Drummerack in fifth, who has gone off track there. I'm not sure what's going on there. He went off, but you know, that's racing sometimes. If you're battling too hard through some of the corners, eventually you're going to find the wall, or at least the gravel. So John staying in fourth and myself in third place, coming around turn number 6 there, I think it is. And John, again, right behind us, needs now to defend like crazy, because the Porsche and the GTR behind him will have the speed advantage over the Subaru. As you can see, the Porsche looking to go around the outside. I don't think it's going to have the legs this time, and John doing very well, almost getting took out by a very savage lunge from the GTR there. What was that guy thinking? And John getting a penalty. What was that for? Please tell me in the comments, what did John do wrong there? He was defending his line. The GTR came out of nowhere, went for a savage lunge, hit John, almost spun him. As you saw there, John had to fight with it to keep it in a straight line. And John is the one who picks up the penalty. What is going on? That is absolutely ridiculous. And if you're new to the channel, or if you're new to the game, you've never played before, this is one thing that will probably frustrate you more than anything else on the game. More than dirty drivers, more than anything. And trust me, dirty drivers will really, really annoy you. The penalty system on this game is just so poor sometimes. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it works perfectly well. Justice is served. But in other instances, just like then, John did nothing wrong. John got hit, and then John got the penalty. And it wasn't even a small penalty, half a second. It was a full 1 second penalty that he got there for absolutely nothing. The penalty system does let this game down a little bit, but don't let that put you off. It's a fantastic game, and please come join in. Find us on the game if you really want to. We'll race all the time. whenever we're racing, feel free to join in. We have some cracking races between the guys here at GT Sports Mates, and we're always looking for new people who are fair and clean and fast racers to give us some good races. That's what this is for. But anyway, back to the race here, as we're coming through the very quick turns from turns 9 up to 13, this is now turn 13. Very tricky left-hander there. So easy to run a little bit wide into that side barrier there. John doing very well though, getting a little bit of a skid around turn 14, but doing well. The Porsche and the GTR just falling off the pace a little bit now. John looking to get into the slipstream of myself up ahead, but the Ford Mustang, the straight line speed is so much. I mean, look at the gap there now. He wasn't that far behind me coming out of turn 14, and now coming down to turn 1, the gap has massively increased. That's just how much power the Ford has over the Subaru, and that is key, really, on this track. It's very hard to dominate on this track if you haven't got a car with very, very high top-end speed. Very powerful cars needed on this track. I mean, don't get me wrong, if everybody's in something like the Subaru, which is very, very good in the corners, but not great in the top-end spectrum, then, it's still going to be a cracking race. And as you can see, John holding his own here. He's in 4th place on the final lap. That GTR and the Porsche behind him much quicker, but you just can't get past him. That is how well John is driving this Subaru. And the Porsche and the GTR just falling further and further and further back. Look at the gap now, because they're just too busy battling. John's in the clear now. Unless John messes up, 4th place is his, and it could be even 3rd place if I mess up myself, which I'm really hoping I don't do. But it could be a podium for John here at Sardegna in the Subaru, which is very hard to do. Very hard to do in the Subaru here, especially against faster, more powerful cars. Coming around turn 13 now, John just about keeping it on the right side of that barrier. He could have easily gone to that barrier there. Doing a good job. Round turn 14 onto what I consider the home straight. There is a big kink, as you can see in the map. That's technically turn 15, as we're going to come across it. Well, we're going to come round turn 15 now. Here we go. I'm just coming around it. John's coming around now. That's turn 15, but it's completely flat out from turn 14. No one's catching John. John's not going to catch me, unfortunately, for John. But across the line we go. 4th place for John. 3rd place for myself after a rocky start. I'm pretty proud of that one, I'll admit. But John, I've got to give it to him. On a track where power is everything, he did super well. So that's all from us here tonight. So please give us a like, comment, and a share, and we will see you all next time.